Have you ever wondered what those who have left this mortal coil think of you now? Well, today we are going to be interviewing those who Junior knew in life. We're going to be asking them many questions about what they think of him, what they think of their lives, and their opinions on their death. Junior's grandmother, wise, tolerant, loved by many, a pillar of her community, and a non-alcoholic. All of that ended so soon by a drunk driver. How ironic. We're here today with Junior's grandmother. How do you feel to be here?
Well, I've lived a long and fulfilling life, and don't feel any anger towards my killer, Gerald.
Dude, you're supposed to be looking at the bloody count. Less of you. Now, let's talk about Junior's opinion of the res. He feels it's its home, but he also feels that he doesn't belong there. He feels isolated in the book because he's different and people don't know him well enough there. So, because the average person living on the res is a drunk and resents their home too, they live on the edge of contentment because of the booze. How do you feel about the res and those who use, alcohol as a way to escape?
Well, what many people forget is that the res was originally meant to be a concentration camp. We were meant to be there and die off. And people view booze as an escape for their problem, and they're dying off in the concentration camps. And it doesn't help you with your problems, though. That's the problem. That's why I've never drank it. It dulls my senses and makes problems harder to solve.
Well said. Now, Grandma Spirit, your passing happened at a key transition point in Junior's life. He had just had his first game against his old friends at Welponite High School. Now, what do you think about Junior's new basketball career, and do you think your death affected it?
I think that Junior has enough smarts and sports skills in basketball to get him off the res for good. I would be so happy for him, and it's really unfortunate that my death had to come at this key point, because it's distracted him from his goals in the end. I think that he should have mourned a little and then just kept going on.
I agree. Junior must persist. Grandma Spirit, I would like to know, how do you feel your death may have influenced Junior and the rest of his life afterwards?
I feel that Junior did pretty well managing the grief from my passing. It was bound to happen at one point, me getting old and all.
I love how much confidence you had in Junior and his abilities. Thank you so much for coming and speaking today, Grandma Spirit.
Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
For our final guest today, we have Mary Runs Away herself. Let's jump right into it. Now, Mary, what prompted you to finally do good on your nickname and run away?
Well, it's not that I wasn't enjoying myself or anything. I was mostly happy with myself, and my family, I was pretty happy, even though I was at home in the basement. My family didn't think that I was happy, but I was actually pretty happy. Writing my romance novels and watching TV kept me pretty much entertained. But because Junior left the res, it gave me perspective. I was 23 and living in my broke parents' basement. Well, Junior was 14 and he went off to a private school off the reservation. He could make something of himself. That's probably why I was super eager to get married and leave the res. It was an escape, a way to leave the res to get somewhere and actually do something. I guess I should have been a little more cautious with myself.
So, are you saying Junior was right about him being the reason that you left and eventually died?
No, of course not. Arnold did give me a nudge in the right direction, but I'm my own person and I make my own decisions. I chose to move, I chose to write my books, I chose to get married to that guy, and I chose to get drunk that night.
So, I want to revisit that. In retrospect, were you actually in love with your husband?
Honestly, I'm not really sure if I was. Like I said, he was more of an escape. I needed a way out, and he was just there, and he opened that opportunity for me. I think I was more in love with the idea with getting an escape and writing my novels than I was with him.
Alright. Well, speaking of your writing career, let's talk about that. Not only did you not tell anybody, but you confided in a random white teacher instead of your family. Now, why did you do that? Did you not trust your family?
It's not really that I didn't think that my family would understand. It's just that we're more Indians. We're like Indians. We don't get to write famous romance novels. That's not usually how it is for us. I know so many people in my life who they showed promise and had potential at the start, but they all failed and gave up in the end and just got addicted to alcohol. My dad didn't become a musician. Eugene didn't play professional ball. Mom didn't go to college. I thought I was just one failure to add to the book. That's why I didn't want to tell anybody, but Mr. P was there for me when I needed someone to talk to about it, and he inspired me to keep my dream until I could devote all my time to it.
It's nice to know that Mr. P meant so much to you as a teacher and a mentor. Now, I want to talk to you about how your death was a tipping point for your brother. First your grandmother, then Eugene, and then you. It was all too much for him to bear, but your death was different. He went on a complete meltdown because of it. Do you know why that is? Like, do you regret your decisions that caused your death, which caused him pain?
I regret every step I took and every decision that I made that night. I know I meant a lot to Arnold, and if I had known that I was the final death that would have pushed him over the edge, then I would have thrown that bottle out of the window. I hurt Arnold. I hurt my entire family. I don't even want to know how many people I hurt. I shouldn't have gotten drunk, and I shouldn't have gotten burned alive.
But didn't you just say that it was your choice that you made?
Well, I'm no saint. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm admitting that I made this mistake, even if I can't live with it anymore.
Interesting. Well, I have no doubt that Junior and everybody else forgives you, but if you had lived a longer life, if you hadn't died in that terrible accident, what would you have done? Would you have continued as a writer?
That's definitely what I would have done. I wanted to be an influential writer where my influence reached everywhere. I could have brought myself off the res and with the money I made. I could have brought my family off the res. I could have influenced so many people and had my influence reach so far. It's just a shame that it didn't play out.
That is such a wonderful idea. I wish I could have seen how it turned out. Well, I have no doubt that Junior forgives you. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And with that, the dead go back to being dead, and along with Junior, all of our lives have to move on. Thank you, America, for tuning in.